How about that? It's been 100 episodes of me in front of a camera talking about bad movies, Mystery Science Theater 3000, or Halloween. Let's be honest, that's what most of my content has been in the 9.5 or almost 10 years at this point. It seems unreal that I've been doing this for so long, even when I kinda stopped doing these once a month, but y'all stuck around to see any new episode that comes out. And yet, I don't know what to do for a milestone like this. I already did an hour-long video back in October, so this may not be a big special episode, but it's still 100, and I want to celebrate with that with you guys, but I have no idea what to do.
We are here to interrupt your milestone for some breaking news. There seems to be a meteor falling out of the sky and appears to be landing on any one of your homes.
Well, it's a good thing it's not my house.
And we just found out it is landing on your house. Yes, you, the one viewer watching this certain newscast at this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your home. GTFO.
Oh shit! Excuse me, Trump's nutsack? Yeah, hi. You're not just gonna leave after landing and destroying my house! Nickelodeon? Look, it was cute when you did it to that man and his French counterpart 20 years ago, but that shit won't fly nowadays. I mean, yeah, kid is in my name, but it's turning into a handle more and more as the years go by. I'm an adult now, but I'm also mad as hell! What? You left me something? Jimmy Neutron. Wow, I haven't seen this movie in years. This is good and all, but can we at least share insurance or something? And you're gone. You know, this is why your channel's 90% SpongeBob! And it's not even the good ones!
Drive-in mutants. Drive-in mutants.
It occurred to me recently that I've never talked about Jimmy Neutron in any capacity, especially in the almost 10 years of doing this. But how could that be? Jimmy Neutron was one of the biggest things in my childhood. And as you all know, I've covered a few things from my past before. Memories. Cue mandatory milestone episode flashback sequence.
Oh, nuts! I forgot the sprinkles!
Jeez, calm down, man. You're making Nicolas Cage look subtle.
Now what you want to do is roll your piece of dead meat in some breadcrumbs.
That teen is bullying that child! Somebody should do something about that. Man, this sucks. We already know his history with rodents.
Oh, no, please. I'm not that kind of...
Sad, really. Oh my god, my family's dead! But it is Nickelodeon. I can't be mad at that. My family's still dead, though.
Sorry to interrupt your afternoon, ma'am, but just wondering if you might be able to tell me where I could find your daughter.
Okay, Laura, you should probably go ahead and call this number. It's not that hard. Only 3 digits. Well, since Snowplow Man decided to chase down 3 kids like a crazy man, can you imagine if he just went ahead and tied up Wayne to the front of his truck? Well, hey, I was just kidding! Okay, seriously, did no one see this while he was driving down the street? Like Scoob, we're totally 420 blazing it, man!
Oh yeah, I free you, fam.
Scoob. See?
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Fred flicks Scooby in the nose, and his response is to deck him right in the face? I know I should be laughing, but I'm shocked that a freaking dog just performed physical assault. Is it because he saw the Wing Commander movie?
No bad dogs, my ass.
I assure you, while you party.
You sure that's the take you want to go with?
While you party.
Really? Okay then. After that campfire ghost story, I hope everyone enjoys the party! I think we just found out how Gosnell got the idea for show dogs.
Hey, handsome.
Hello, baby.
You.
Maggie?
Like Scoob, your tentacle hentai! My god, the monster was Shrek this entire time! Really? Look, I know it was a little funny, but it wasn't that funny.
Oh my god!
Look, come on, you guys. All this is gonna lead to is her laying in her room, listening to some discount emo rock band, thinking about this one moment. It's not that funny, you guys. Why do I even come to this school? You guys are dicks. Back at the house, Cassie and Max's parents are playing a video game that they got for him, but Max is too scared to play what's essentially a shovelware game you would see on the App Store.
I want a different game. It's scary.
Max, it's a squirrel who throws nut bombs.
I don't care.
I mean, come on, what's so scary about a game where you play as a squirrel who fights off birds, and the only way to do that is to bust a nut on them? So let's go ahead and take another trip down Nostalgia Avenue with Jimmy Neutron. But before we dive into the movie, let's go into a little background. First of all, what is Jimmy Neutron? I'm sure y'all probably know about it nowadays thanks to internet memes, but the origins of the Boy Genius date all the way back to the 1980s when the film's director, John A. Davis, drew a storyboard and wrote a script for a short titled Runaway Rocket Boy, where a boy named Johnny Quasar runs away from home and is abducted by aliens. But the short was later abandoned. However, while moving into a new home in the 1990s, he stumbled upon the script and changed the title to just simply The Adventures of Johnny Quasar, where he would later present it at the 1995 SIGGRAPH, which stands for Special Interest Groups on Computer Graphics and Interactive Techniques. There, he met Steve Odekirk, who spotted a still shot of Johnny and his robot dog Goddard during the convention. The designs of the figures struck Odekirk, a loyal advocate of computer animation, who said in an interview that the image seemed playful in comparison to most photorealistic work that was being done at the time with computer animation. He called Davis on the phone and demanded to see a tape of the entire short. After hearing the demo and seeing Davis and co-creator Keith Alcorn's show Bible, Odekirk indicated interest and insisted him on pitching their concept to various networks. After teaming up with O Entertainment, the business began designing a full-length episode for a TV series of Johnny Quasar, which included expanding on the original Runaway Rocket Boy pilot and changing Johnny's design to make him seem more childlike. The concept was pitched to Nickelodeon in the fall of 1995, and they were immediately interested. Nick's then president, Albie Hitch, was particularly struck, describing him as half Bart Simpson, half Albert Einstein, and praising Johnny's blended personality as an adventurous and brilliant character grounded in the realities of childhood, which he claimed made him the perfect Nick character. Are y'all paying attention to this shit? There will be a test at the end. Unfortunately, the name Johnny Quasar wouldn't stick because of 2 other characters with similar names, Captain Quasar and Johnny Quest, which would lead Davis into significant legal concerns. As a result, he was instructed to change the name, and given only 24 hours to come up with a new nickname for his upcoming business. He then brainstormed additional character names while walking his dog around the block, eventually settling on Jimmy Neutron as the final name. Thus, in 1998, my birth year of all things, the pilot for Jimmy Neutron, titled as the short Davis made back in the 80s, Runaway Rocket Boy, was submitted to Nickelodeon in the aim of landing a TV series on the network. However, the officials at Nick were so thrilled with the pilot that they agreed to develop a feature-length film before the TV series, allowing the show to be made on a lesser budget because many assets from the movie would be reused. So the film is a very loose retelling of the pilot John came up with. And if you've seen the pilot, which you can thanks to the internet and the complete series collection by Shout Factory, you can see a lot of stuff that was borrowed from the pilot that will later be in the movie. Not to mention that in the very first trailer for the film, Jimmy, instead of wearing the classic red shirt with a yellow atom on it, he originally had a red and white striped shirt.
Look, there's Waldo.
Now let's talk about the movie, and much like the other films from my childhood, I never saw it when it was in theaters because, well, I was very young at the time. But eventually, I did see it on home video. And yes, after many years later, this is still the very same tape I've had since I was a kid. Say yes to VHS. Oh wow, I didn't even notice this on the back of the case. Sure, it's normal stuff like screenshots from the movie, but the big image on the right, they legit used whatever default promotional images of Jimmy, Goddard, and his friend Carl, then just photoshopped them in. And, oh my god, the font news for the back description is Comic Sans! Comic Sans! Oh, now we know where Derek Savage got it.
Exquisite!
And even though I'm poking fun at this, it's almost like opening up an old time capsule and dusting off some of those old memories.
Charlotte's Web, one of the most beloved children's movies, based on the book by E.B. White.
Oh my god, I feel like a kid again watching this. Sure, it's nothing to write home about, but this just reminds me of simpler times before all hell broke loose. Seeing the trailer for SpongeBob episodes on DVD and VHS before Nick decided to screw over the late Steven Hillenburg. No SpongeBob spin-offs, my ass. And oh, we got Rugrats! Both the second movie, Rugrats in Paris, a VHS promo for 10 classic episodes of the show, and even a promo for the All Grown Up spin-off. That last one goes out to the two people who remember All Grown Up. I'm one of them. Hell, I think the last time I watched this spin-off was on the Game Boy Advance video. Okay, going off topic for a second, I apologize, but does anyone remember these? This was a line of GBA cartridges where you can watch full motion videos on your Game Boy Advance. Mostly animated movies or episodes of cartoon shows.
With GBA Video, the shows are right in the cartridges. One video pack holds multiple episodes with full color and sound.
Gotta tell ya, it's been a while since I've watched one of these. Let's see how it is all this time later.
4, 3, 2, 1. All grown up, I really wanna shout it out. All grown up, I want the world to know. All grown up, I really wanna shout it out. All grown up with you. All grown up with you.
Okay, I'll admit it. Not everything from my childhood was good. Wait a minute, what the hell am I doing there?
Hey, I'm Austin.
Ah, of course. I wouldn't have known your name if you didn't have it on your t-shirt. Why are you wearing a t-shirt with your name on it? This, obviously, is an ad for Embassy Suites that was put onto the VHS for the movie. Of course, there's not that much to say here, but that doesn't mean I can't make fun of it.
It has video games and... my parents' room is back there. I hope I'm gonna win.
The hell was with that awkward cut? Even Austin was confused by this. Sure, he can be pointing at the TV, but there's something we don't know here. What do you think it could be?
My parents' room is back there.
Yeah, they've been dead for a few days. No idea what happened.
Parents call 1-800-EMBASSY for reservations.
Ooh, a phone number. Now let's be adult and professional about this information. Nah, let's call it.
Hello?
Hi, is this Embassy Suites?
Yes, it is. How may I help you?
Can anyone get their own hotel room there?
Well, sir, this is a hotel.
Okay, stupid question, sorry. So, do the rooms have a couch that pulls out to a bed, a TV for video games, and a room that might have dead people on the bed?
Can you repeat that last thing?
A room that has dead people on the bed.
Like a bed when you're dead tired.
No, as in a bed in a room where there are dead people on it.
You want a bed with corpses on it?
Yeah, I've heard about a room like that from Austin. He's been to your hotel before. Hello? Hello? Okay, I think I stalled enough time. So let's have a blast to the past by taking a look at Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. The film begins at a military base where they notice a UFO approaching, so they go ahead and dispatch fighter jets to investigate the situation, as it's revealed to be our main character Jimmy with his friend Carl Weezer and Jimmy's robot dog Goddard. They plan to send a communication satellite, which is made out of a toaster. Hey, come on now, someone made an NES out of one of those. Jimmy's doing this in order to speak with an alien species that might be out there, but his rocket is unable to leave the atmosphere. So then he gets one of his famous brain blasts, a character staple, where he tapes a can of soda around the toaster and throws it into space as it is able to leave the atmosphere. I'm gonna tell my kids this was the film Gravity. They fall back down to Earth as Jimmy drops Carl off by deploying his seat with a parachute. I always thought the parachute was his underwear, don't ask. Jimmy tries to slow his rocket ship down, but there ain't no Mary Poppins here, y'all. Well, that guy's dead. He's able to land on the roof of his house, but is then scolded by his parents.
Oh, but Mom, I'm on the verge of contact with an advanced alien civilization.
I don't care how advanced they say they are, Jimmy. We've repeatedly told you not to talk to strangers.
Yeah, we still have this guy down the street.
Oh, you've got to admit that is pretty neat. But very unsafe, honey. That's bad.
Okay, I wasn't sure where to put this, but when I said Jimmy Neutron was at a high thanks to meme culture, I'm pretty sure all of it stems from Jimmy's father, Hugh, especially in the TV series. He's moronic, yet really optimistic, but also is certain that whatever the hell he says has some sort of deeper meaning.
What if Attila the Hun hadn't picked up his pants? What about Luke Skywalker? You're here. I tell you, the Force was with that guy's pants. You see, Goddard, boys are one way, and girls, well, they're another way entirely. Then there's ducks.
He's also one of the weirdest characters in the whole series, but has a shit ton of confidence. It may be cringy for some, but let's be honest. One of y'all have had to have someone like this in one of your circles. Either was a family member or a friend at some point in your life. Afterwards, we get a small montage showing off the inventions that Jimmy has made while getting ready for school. One is for taking off his shirt, another one is to put a new one on that he has a huge amount of, which is just the same one. I really hate to be the one guy who's upset that the red shirt with yellow Atom rack at Walmart is empty. Other inventions he has are ones to make the bed, help brush his teeth, style his hair, a shoe bot to help tie his shoes, and when he misses the bus, you'd think he would just walk the rest of the way to school. But nope, he makes a thing of chewing gum that puts him in a bubble and bounces the rest of the way there. Sure, all of this of course would be pretty pointless, but imagine being a kid. This would be kinda cool to have. The one that would be useful nowadays is the shoe bot, because even in adulthood for some of us, tying shoes is a pain in the ass and shoelaces are bullshit. As Jimmy gets to school, we're also introduced to his classmates and other characters in the series. There's Cindy, who's a rival to Jimmy, and they usually try to one-up, throw insults, or tease one another. There's Cindy's friend Libby, And that's much I know about her in the movie. I mean, she has a cell phone and she listens to music on her Walkman, but that's honestly it. Before she was a bit fleshed out more in the TV series, this was all her character was. Then there's Jimmy's friend Sheen, who you could sign off as loud and obnoxious, but much like you probably had a friend like this growing up at some point in your life. One thing you can tell about Sheen is that he really loves the TV character Ultralord, so much so that he collects action figures and quotes him daily.
Well, in episode 224, he fried the Z-Bot's brain with his heat-seeking infrathought. It was cool.
You can say that he might be a little obsessed. But let's be honest, who on earth could be obsessed with something so dumb that it can take over their life? Why are you looking at me like that? Then there's Nick, the stereotypical cool kid, because it was the early 2000s and we needed one, and honestly, that's all there is to say about him. The girls at school go all gaga for him, but that's about as stereotypical as Nick is. Let's be real, if this was reality, Nick would be acting cool at a young age, but now his ass will be working at McDonald's dealing with people complaining about why the ice cream machine is broken. Well, sorry Susan, the goddamn thing's always broken, so take this free McRib and get out of my face! What were we talking about? Finally, there's Jimmy's other friend Carl, who we met at the beginning of the film. Usually, he's Jimmy's crash test dummy for his inventions. He's cautious, kind of a chicken, but is still a loyal friend to Jimmy. And of course, just like Hugh, Carl has been memed to hell and back on the internet.
Yes, are you going to finish that croissant?
Not to mention, he's also voiced by the legendary voice actor Rob Paulsen. Now, when you hear the name, you usually think of Yakko, Pinky, or Raphael, but for me growing up, Carl was the most iconic character he voiced. Which is the least I could say about a certain other character he voiced.
What could possibly go wrong?
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
In class, Jimmy tries to show off his latest invention, a shrink ray. But it doesn't seem to work until he leaves the class and it accidentally fires at his teacher, Miss Fowl.
Oh my!
Gonna say it now, the second part of the new Dune isn't looking too hot. On their way home from school, Jimmy, Sheen, and Carl notice a poster for the opening night of a new amusement park named Retroland. They really want to go there, but they remember that it's a school night, as Nick happens to be skateboarding by them and suggests that they sneak out.
What, are you guys gonna be kids forever?
But Nick, sneaking out is so barbaric.
Honestly, wanting to be at the opening night of an amusement park isn't that big of a thing to do. Besides, look at the poster. I mean, come on, look at that extensive showcase of 3 things to do there. But instead of doing that, Jimmy suggests that they butter him up with gifts, so he gives his mom flowers and a necklace made out of stuff that he grabbed on his way home from school. Jimmy then asks if he can go to Retroland that night, but she says no. He tries to find something else to make her think otherwise, but accidentally sets off his jetpack and nearly sets the house on fire.
We have told you time and time again about playing with rockets.
It's more of a jetpack type thing.
You just climb those stair-type things right now.
Yeah, climb those stair-type things with your leg-type things. Go to your room-type place, for I am angry right now. Me, your mom-type person. Adjectives! Cut back to space, we see that Jimmy's communication satellite has been picked up by a race of aliens known as the Yokians. As we are then introduced to the main two, King Goobot and Oblar, voiced by Patrick Stewart and Martin Short.
It's all right, I'll handle this. What galaxy are you from? Oblar, where is your leader?
Shut up, Oblar! The communication begins to go through as Goobot begins to grow interested in Jimmy's parents.
They look delicious. The search is over!
There's going to be so much probing. I will say, the Yokians are actually interesting when you really think about it. Well, let's get the obvious out of the way. The design of them look like eggs, and even their spaceships look like giant chickens. The ships even make a distorted "bakak" sound. The only thing missing right now is Egghead from Batman coming in just to say, "Excellent." But their egg-shaped bodies are almost like a shell because they're actually a green goo. The best way I could describe it is, it's like if the slime from You Can't Do That on Television became sentient. You know, with all these egg and chicken references, I think we now know who their real leader is. We just didn't see it coming.
Ya jerk!
Cut back to Jimmy, as it turns out he's grounded after the jetpack type thing situation, so he finally caves in and takes Nick's advice on sneaking out. He uses a shrink ray to sneak by his parents, as he later meets up with Sheen and Carl at Retroland, as they... Okay, some of these rides do look kinda cool, like a tilt-a-whirl that's in the design of an octopus, and a ride where you're inside of an eyeball. But seriously, some of these do look real dangerous, like this volcano and ancient Egypt roller coasters. One malfunction happens, and Retroland's gonna be called Six Flags. Well, at least Sheen is able to meet Ultralord and, oh hi Jim Cummings.
Now, counterpart, take this Ultra Mask and lead the fight for justice.
Is this kid with anyone?
Back at the house, we see Goddard posing as Jimmy in bed to fool his parents.
I know you're upset. We don't like to punish you.
Your mother and I just wanted to say goodnight.
Yes, and to tell you that we love you.
Well, I'm sure this won't come back to bite Jimmy in the ass.
You'll be sorry!
Eventually, they hear a noise in the kitchen and notice that it has a refreshing mint flavor, as it turns out to be the Yokians, where they abduct all the parents in Retroville. And I'm assuming just Retroville, not the entire Earth, because I don't think we see every single parent being abducted. There are at least a few billion people in the world, but apparently the Yokians just decided to stick with this one particular spot. And given that there's an alien abduction happening, only one thing is certain.
I just know they're gonna probe my anus.
Well, I'm pretty sure that guy's gonna be first in line.
Your Nick. Your show. Your break.
JIMMYNEUTRON.com. 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 Jimmy Neutron.com. Place to play in cyberspace is JimmyNeutron.com. Blast around, jump up and down, JimmyNeutron.com. Log on now, you'll say wow, JimmyNeutron.com. JimmyNeutron.com.
Get off the buoy!
That's Lance, the lifeguard. He sees everything. But can he see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
It's got, tantalines?
Dude, there's cinnamon sugar swirls in every bite. A tasty part of this balanced breakfast.
I see that.
Right.
No running.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. A taste you can see. Chicken tenders, big kids meal, please.
Okay.
Double cheeseburger, big kids meal.
Got it.
Now you can nail tricks like the pros and catch big moves from Dave Mira, Ryan Nyquist, Bucky Lassick, or others on your own replay screen. One of 5X Stunt sports sets is in your Big Kids Meal, only at Burger King, home of the real Big Kids Meal.
Break's over.
So Jimmy wakes up the next day to find a letter on the fridge saying that his parents went to Florida, as it turns out that everyone got that exact same letter.
There are absolutely no adults anywhere within radar.
Well, no parents in the whole city? That can only mean one thing. Now, hold on everyone. The parents could be gone, but not all the adults, so maybe we can find somebody, they can have an idea on what's going on? Or maybe some young adults who just hit their 20s. We're still kids, and we need to find somebody to help us. Or. Maybe there's some adults out there that don't have kids. Maybe some can be married or in a relationship, probably thinking about having a kid of their own in the future. We can help them while they help us. Wait, let me guess. No parents? Alright, the hell with it. But when one of y'all wants access to the adult websites, don't come running for me! We of course get a montage of all the kids celebrating that no parents are around, and being able to do all the things that they weren't able to. Like leaving the fridge open, wearing clothes that don't match, peeing in the shower.
I'm still doing it! Go, go, go!
I'm pretty sure everyone does that last one. And if you say no, you're lying. And when I mentioned that not all the adults are gone, we see Miss Fell still trying to fend off that giant worm. Maybe the Yokians are like Zoolander, and they don't take ant-sized humans. Anyway, the children continue to celebrate into the night with a huge party. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean a huge party!
Morning, Goddard.
They wake up the next day with the child equivalent of a hangover. We get the birth of one of the famous Carl memes.
I couldn't have enough. Okay, one more. I'm gonna have one more, and then that'll be it.
As everyone starts to begin to miss their parents.
What started as an awesome day has become like a real bummer.
Help us!
I don't know how to make lunch! I want my parents!
Somebody hold me!
Even Jimmy's affected by this loss of parents situation, as we see him watching the playback from Goddard of the other night.
Good night, Jimmy. Sweet dreams. We'll see you in the morning.
In the morning?
He starts putting two to two together about them being gone, first by analyzing the notes that he got from them. I mean, I think it would be pretty obvious with one being handwritten and the other being typed. Not as dumb as the handwriting expert scene from Catwoman, but close. At least there's no camera guy in the background. No, I will not let that go! Anyway, he notices on his computer that the message went through and that Earth had an alien visit. He starts to repair his crashed rocket ship as he and Carl begin to save everyone's parents. But something stops them.
What is it?
An angry mom!
Well, they don't look angry.
Yeah, this mob doesn't seem that intimidating at all. If they wanted to pose any threat, they should be wearing a fur hat, carrying a podium, complaining about Dizzy's turning red, or chanting, "Evil dies tonight!" Listen, it's 2022, and I now have high standards when it comes to angry mobs. They manage to calm down so Jimmy can explain to them where the Yokians left and their possible location, as we get a montage of the kids making their own spaceships at the amusement park rides and taking off to save their parents. You know, I trust this spaceflight more than the dude who dated Grimes, nor do I trust the founder of Amazon.
Look, Goddard, the wonders of the universe.
It's incredible.
Oi! Does anyone know how we're able to breathe in outer space? I should have asked that at the start of the film with Jimmy and Carl, but I didn't think about that until now. If I remember correctly, the simple side effects would be boiling on the surface of the tongue and your eyeballs, as if they were Romy noodles on a hibachi grill, and following that is the loss of oxygen and passing out, which is right about now.
They eventually find the home planet of the Yokians and, okay, is it too late for Egghead to come into this movie? Anyway, they sneak their way into the palace where their parents are being lined up and wearing some type of mind control helmets. Jimmy tries to talk to his dad, but they are caught and brought to King Goobot, as he shows them a TV report that mentions Jimmy's message he sent out.
And this year's human sacrifices feature something very special. Actual humans.
And it's all thanks to Jimmy Neutron.
I'm Jimmy Neutron, and you're an alien life form.
Cancel Neutron! Cancel Neutron! Cancel Neutron! Cancel Neutron! Also, YT? I knew that website was evil! Well, explains why I can't get any of my videos on there. They are then taken to a cell, whereas Goddard is taken to a torture chamber, as the kids begin to blame Jimmy and help hammer in the moral of the movie.
Hey, Jimmy, didn't your parents ever tell you not to talk to strangers?
That's rule number 1.
Clearly Jimmy hasn't learned anything from Corny the Alien.
Jimmy, you there? Look, don't listen to them. They're just scared. Don't be so hard on yourself. We'll get out of this.
So after some words of encouragement from Cindy and the help of Libby's cell phone, Jimmy gets the idea to get in contact with Goddard, who's in the hands of Ooblar, as he manages to get him out by faking a self-destruct sequence.
Self-destruct sequence is now engaged.
Please clear a 30 square mile area. Thank you and have a nice day.
Now, remember earlier in the film when Goobot said this?
They look delicious.
Well, it turns out he actually meant that, because he'll sacrifice all the parents to Poltra, who the Yokians look up to as a goddess, basically. Now, what I want to know is, how many parents just put this on in the background for their children, thinking it was just another run-of-the-mill kids movie, and got to this point? Their reactions were probably on the line of this.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh yeah, they also make the parents do the chicken dance. Let's be honest with ourselves, if this was made today, they would make the parents do the default Fortnite dance. They race down to save their parents, with Nick leading them and taking out the security guards, only to stop at Poltra hatching out of her egg.
Here's the lowdown. You get us to those kidnapping alien scuzzballs, and I'll take it from there.
Oh yeah, Nick, you totally had this. Poltra is then released, as Jimmy has another brain blast for how to grab their parents. He, along with the other kids, will distract the Yokians and Poltra, as Sheen grabs one of the ships so they can fly out of there.
Okay, I heard the ship part, but was that Sheen get the ship?
There's a transport ship in that airfield big enough to carry all of us out of here. I need you to get it here as fast as you can.
But I don't have a driver's license.
And yet you were totally fine flying a spaceship on the way here. They rush into the arena and take out the guards one by one, either using karate, a grappling suction cup gun. I seriously don't know what the real name is for that, shut up. Blinding them with an inhaler, and music? What was he listening to? This?
Me and my homies solve mysteries through cartoons, movies, and tons of DVDs.
That song would kill anyone. Jimmy then steals the remote for all the mind control helmets, which is the equivalent of an Atari controller, as Sheen flies in with the spaceship, hitting Poltra in the process. You know, I never thought I'd use the phrase big bird ass in my life, but then comes in Jimmy Neutron to help me out with that.
Did you see my butt?
Surprisingly, she only crushes Ooblar, as Goobot rallies up the other Yokians to go and chase after the children, who already flew out of there.
Time to discipline the naughty children.
Okay, I never thought I would hear Patrick Stewart say that in a kids movie. Now, if it was in the Emoji Movie, then yeah. The kids managed to take out a majority of the troops by having them chase around the sun, causing their ships to blow up. I would do the obvious cooked eggs or fried chicken joke, but luckily the film has got my back.
Okay, who wants fried chicken?
Only Goobot and Ooblar survived, as they make a transmission to Jimmy's ship and decide to taunt him.
All of your friends and family would be safe at home if it wasn't for one little problem. You.
Little.
Oh yeah, one thing I didn't really mention was throughout parts of the movie, some of the characters usually tease Jimmy for being short.
What's the matter, Neutron? Aren't you short enough already? Help me! I'm so tiny, just like Jimmy's brain.
Hey, there's a red giant. And that's a white dwarf.
You can relate, huh, Neutron?
I felt like it wasn't necessary to bring up because that type of insult is so juvenile. And I know that's kind of a dumb thing to say because, yeah, it is juvenile given it's a movie where the main character is a kid. But if you saw that type of insult calling someone short nowadays in a YouTube comment section, it would be the most tame thing you see in one of those. Jimmy then uses Goddard as a bicycle to fly towards the Yokian ship and uses the shrink ray to make himself grow the size of a planet. Gooba and Ubar begin to cower in fear as Jimmy blows the ship away as if it was nothing, causing it to explode, leaving them bodiless and floating in space. Until the sequel, which was an episode of the TV show. The kids are then reunited with their parents as Jimmy finds his family and apologizes to them. Some time later passes by as Jimmy's mom and dad accidentally drink one of his experiment sodas, which causes them to constantly burp. You know, I still take this over the 1 minute of burping and farting from the first Scooby-Doo movie. That writer would later direct The Suicide Squad, by the way. Oh, and Miss Fowl is still small. Figured I'd bring this up because the movie legit has this be a Marvel-style mid-credits scene. And I might have not been that far off from calling this the second part of the new Dune. So that was Jimmy Neutron, and I know throughout this video I've been joking and making fun of it, but honestly, even after 20 years later after seeing it as a kid, the movie's still fun. Not only was this the 6th theatrically released animated movie from Nickelodeon, but this was also the first film from them to be entirely CG. Sure, we've had Pixar doing this years before Jimmy Neutron with Toy Story and A Bug's Life, but for the time when the movie came out, this was really impressive, and many years later, it hasn't aged poorly or looked too bad. It of course does give the message on how kids shouldn't talk to strangers. It does it in an over-the-top way, but it does help get the message across. The film was also nominated for the Academy Award for Best Animated Film of 2001, but it lost to another film that, just like Jimmy Neutron, has spawned a shit ton of memes.
Somebody once told me.
It of course was very successful, reaching number 3 on its opening weekend, right behind Ocean's 11 and Fellowship of the Ring. It then spawned a TV series simply titled The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius in 2002 with at least 60 episodes and 3 seasons, until its cancellation in 2006. A 4th season of the show was planned, but due to the poor performance of the Ant Bully, DNA Productions went bankrupt and the season was cancelled. Because cancelling the series was a significant loss for the firm, producing a 4th season would have been too expensive, and Nickelodeon couldn't afford to buy the company to keep it going. However, Jimmy Neutron didn't leave television because in 2007, a special aired on Nickelodeon named Genius, Sheenus, and In Between Us, which was a special broadcast that included an audio commentary from the actors of Jimmy, Sheen, and Carl in character, and it was done in the style of Mystery Science Theater 3000. So much so that they went ahead and included movie theater silhouettes and have the characters move in sync of their individual voice actors. And keep in mind that this was a year before I got into MST3K, but I actually remember seeing a glimpse of the special on TV as a kid. The image of Jimmy, Sheen, and Carl silhouettes were just stuck in my head for so long. I couldn't find much on this special for the longest time, but thanks to the internet, I found the full special. Please excuse the video quality of this being the equivalent of a potato because to my knowledge, this is the only found copy of this special, commercials and all. I'm honestly surprised that this hasn't been re-released in any way, not even for an anniversary release. Hell, even the Blu-ray that got released earlier this year, aside from the stuff that was already included on the DVD from its 3 releases, this special wasn't a part of it. I mean, if Muppets from Space can have this as an option on their DVD, I don't see why this shouldn't either. And at last, the final television appearance for Jimmy Neutron was on the same year as Genius, Sheenus, and In Between Us. And it was a car commercial. Aside from having the same voice actors reprise their roles as their characters, there's honestly not that much to say about this. I can point out how bizarre it is seeing these models in HD, but that would just be me grasping at straws. We did get another shot at a Jimmy Neutron show via a spin-off with Planet Sheen, and what are my thoughts on that? I saw 1 episode of the show, but that was it. I would give my full thoughts on that, but given what I've heard about the show, yeah, not now. Supposedly, back in 2016, John A. Davis stated that he has a story for a possible Jimmy Neutron reboot, but also stated he's waiting for the right situation to make it. Even Carl's voice actor Rob Paulson was asked about a reboot back in 2020, where he had this to say: "Well, I gotta tell you man, I go all over the world when we don't have the coronavirus, and people love Carl. They love Carl. I don't think it would be a bad idea at all to reboot Jimmy Neutron. I think that it's one of those shows that a lot of people would love to see again. It was very good, really smart. That wouldn't surprise me. Personally, I would be against the idea of a reboot either, if it was done right. And that is even if the wheels start to turn. But if not, I'm certain the fans will keep it alive, because we were all introduced to Jimmy Neutron in some way or another. Whether it was the movie, the TV show, or the assload of memes that have been made over the years, this franchise found a way to creep into our lives. To tell y'all the truth, whenever I get to talk about a movie from my childhood, I tend to get a little bit worried about revisiting one of them. Because even though it might be one that I was very fond with as a kid, it still might be fun to watch years later after seeing it, like Max Keeble's Big Move, Snow Day, or The Haunting Hour Don't Think About It. But at the same time, I say I'm worried because even though personally I would enjoy these movies, that doesn't mean everyone will like it. And look, I'm not saying this just to go on and say, oh well, who cares about your opinion? It's not valid. I'm right, you're wrong. No, that's not my intention and it'll never will be. Because we all have that one piece of media we grew up with as children. You have yours, I have mine, and that's totally fine. I guess what I'm trying to get at this is what I pretty much say about movies like these from our past. It always comes down to the nostalgia factor. And that's okay, because with how flawed some of these films were, they somehow held a special place in our hearts, bringing us back to that special time as kids. What the? Huh. Someone's trying to FaceTime me. I rarely give my number out to anybody. Well, let's see who it is.
Hey, Gus Webb, it's Debbie Derryberry, voice of Jimmy Neutron. Congratulations on making it to this huge milestone, the 100th episode of your show.
Yeah, how you doing, Gus? Hugh Neutron here to congratulate you on your 100th episode of your show.
Where you talk about the Jimmy Neutron movie? That is just amazing. Really great job.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not called the Hugh Neutron and Friends movie. Yeah, but it's not. Maybe that's what you talked about. Maybe the whole episode was about how it should have been called the Hugh Neutron Experience. Anyway, congratulations. Doing something 100 times, no matter what it is amazing, let alone doing a show.
100, that's a big number. Don't think I don't know it. I feel how great this is.
I can't even chew my food 100 times before swallowing it. I get so hungry. All right, Gus, keep up the great work, and here's to show 200,000. You better get busy.
So again, congratulations, Gus, and I'm gonna sign off by saying, got a blast!
Bye-bye.
I just got FaceTimed by the voice actors of Jimmy Neutron and his father, Hugh Neutron. What the fuck? You know, it's 2022. Why would I expect anything more?